Hello guys, welcome welcome back to our little coffee club. I just finished recording the what's gonna be the end of last week's video just now, and now I'm recording the beginning of the rest of this process that went wrong. So last week's video I got into so many little details. I wanted to talk a lot about just cover some of the basics, because I had gotten some comments with basic questions, things that people that are getting into the coffee brewing, they want to know, basic wording and lingo that we use, like dose amount and yield and the ratio and this and that. So I wanted to cover some of that. I hadn't done it in a while. And if it's not something that I want to do in every single video, but every now and then I will mention, and you guys have noticed that I'll mention basic things, just because there's always somebody new that runs into the video, and then they're like, what do they mean by this and that? And you cover some of it, but yeah, I had to split the video up. I hate doing this kind of thing where I'm trying to like some kind of match up and one video and begin the next video, and it just gets really weird for me. I don't enjoy the process doing it that way. But when things get that long, there's just no way, even to edit it, there's just so many clips I want to edit in one go around, and get the video ready for upload. So, but we're gonna go ahead, go to the other counter and continue with the September experience. I told you guys last week, this coffee just blew my mind. It was so good that I'm gonna freeze and vacuum seal, just like you see here, that I did with my favorite coffee of all times, my favorite coffee ever, this Costa Rican chemical processing coffee from Good Brothers. Wow. In this bag of coffee, everything came together for me. The level of acidity, the sweetness, the strength of the flavors and the depth of flavor, everything was there for me just the way I like it, and it was awesome. And I ordered a bunch of it, and then I vacuum sealed it like this. I put it away in the freezer. People say that's the best way to keep coffee long term. And moving forward, what I want to do is I have a benchmark to compare things against. So this being my favorite coffee ever, then I didn't think I would run into a contender so quickly, but this coffee is a contender. This coffee is so good that I'm gonna freeze some of it. And then what we're gonna do is that in January, I'm gonna have a face-off between whatever my favorite coffees were for the year. I wish I would have thought of that idea when the year began. I could have probably had a few more coffees frozen, but I didn't think of that. So, I'll start now. So if it's only these two, maybe in January, we'll go ahead and bring them out and compare them head to head. If maybe I run into another one that's awesome and I vacuum seal it, then we'll have three, and so on and so forth. Next year, I'll try to remember whenever I run into something that just blows my mind to vacuum seal some of it, and then we'll compare. That's all we could do moving forward. So, and I'll always keep the best. If this one beats this one, then so be it. And then I'll store the rest of it and leave it there and to compare, to always have the best of the best on hand. Although this one, I have a bunch. I didn't think this will ever be dethroned. So we'll see. So, all right, let's go to the other counter. We'll chit chat some more here at the end once I make my espresso. But let's go to the other counter, do some pug prep, and try this thing again. Oh yeah, right. I think I still need maybe like one more clip to kind of tie things together, right? So like I was explaining, when I review a coffee, I always try to do a filtered part of it, and I try to do espresso as well. I try to do both. But the espresso part, well, I covered a lot of little details. I had a lot of clips. Everything took way long. We had some little mishaps here and there. A lot of things happened. So the video got super long. I split it. So hopefully you guys understand what's going on. Like the second, now I have to cut to the first shot that we pulled, which we pulled it a few days ago when I was doing the filter part of this review. So we'll watch that, what happened and what went wrong, and I'll tie it all in together with the second shot, which I'm about to record right now. So let's roll the tape from last time, and then I'll catch up with you guys in the counter again, and we'll pull the second shot. All right, here we go. I'm finishing up the last of my brew here, and we're gonna do some puck prep. All right, so when it comes to espresso, usually the most common dose for espresso is 18 grams, and the ratio of the dose to the yield, or the water you're getting out, the coffee you're getting out from your brew, it's usually, the most common one is probably a 1:2. So twice as much water as you have ground coffee. In my case, I like going, I used to go 1:3. That was my go-to ratio. Nowadays it's a 1:2.5. So that means 18 grams in, 45 grams of liquid out, okay? And we control that obviously by using a scale. Also, your timing, just like on your pour overs, you want to take a look at your timing. Make sure that your timing is also in a certain range. When it comes to espresso, the timing, a very common timing, again, everything needs to be adjusted to what your preferences are, what you enjoy, what you like. And I like sweeter kind of coffees, more extraction, more flavor. So therefore, I tend to like longer brew times, meaning that usually I grind my coffee finer than you might grind it. And I usually use a hotter temperature. All of those things help you get more extraction. Now, what happens is that you can do that only so far, because then the coffee will start getting bitter, and then you're over extracted. That's what you're trying to avoid. So you want to get enough extraction, but without getting the bitterness. Then you went too far, okay? If you're getting more like, just not a lot of flavor and a kind of sour tasting coffee, then you're under extracted, okay? So therefore, again, adjust your grind size, make sure you're brewing for longer. You could do that by, again, grinding finer, or by doing more agitation. In the case of espresso, there's no agitation, the machine is just doing its thing. So, you control these factors to kind of make your adjustments to dial in. That's what dialing in is all about, getting the coffee to taste the closest you can get it to taste to what you like, okay? Because some coffees are just gonna give you so much. Some are just very high acidity, some are just don't have any acidity, and so on and so forth. All right, just a little bit left. Wow, definitely, man, that plum. Wow, and usually, but plum is a fruit that I'm very familiar with, just like green apple. I don't know if I've ever had a coffee that said green apple. I don't think so, but I'm on the lookout. Because, Granny Smith's apples, is something that I really enjoy. I like that sourness, but still has sweetness. And I think it's something I would recognize in a coffee if it's really there, at least for me, But this plum thing, man, definitely, I am definitely getting that. But again, jammy, I don't know. It really doesn't feel like maybe as espresso, it will. The texture, maybe. I don't know, maybe in espresso it'll have it. Right now I wouldn't say that. I would definitely call it juicy. It's like a nice juice, a lot of sweetness, mild acidity. Wow, okay, what more can we say? All right, let's, so again, we're gonna do like the most common dose for espresso. We're gonna go with 18 grams. We're looking to get 45 grams out. Now, something that I really enjoy is doing something that a lot of people call a Slayer shot. It's just a long pre-infusion, okay? It's a long pre-infusion where the coffee has a chance to get that extraction going and all that blooming happening in the puck before it starts pouring out. You might get a few drips, and that's okay. So what I like doing is my pre-infusion to last about, on a light roast like this, at least like 30 seconds. I'm gonna go for a 30-second pre-infusion, and then, maybe as much as 45 seconds of brew time. For me, that's how I might enjoy this coffee. So that's what I'm shooting for. Now, I don't know how coarse to grind this at all. I have no idea. I can only base things on previous knowledge, right? So You know, I'm going to grind on the niche. You know, I'm gonna go down to, wow. You know what? I'm gonna start at 20 because I don't want it to choke. I can always, like, you know, slow things down if need be, up to a certain extent, of course. Again, my machine has flow control, so it has become like a game changer for me. And with lighter rows, I just been able to always make it work. Only, like, I think twice where I didn't really drink the shot. Like, all of my shots have been very good. And some have been excellent. I've gotten some most very good, and some I would, you know, call like, yeah, mediocre shots. They were not great, but really like bad shots, that's only happened a couple times. So you can, with the Bianca so far, man, I can always make it work. All right, so again, we're gonna shoot for that long pre-infusion and then a long shot time, maybe 40 seconds, something like that. We'll see if 20, I don't know, maybe we might have to grind finer, but we'll see how close we can get it with that. All right, so first we dose our 18 grams. So yeah, I gotta have, you know, I've been meaning to, for the longest time, to make a video as to how to get started with coffee and getting started fast on an espresso machine. I'll make it on my Brewing infuser, but really, like on any Brewing machine or in a most espresso machines, it'll be like the same process. And, you know, give you some of this lingo, like, you know, the dose, the yield, the ratio, you know, just really quickly go over even showing what the different things are, right? Like, you know, this is your portafilter, right? This here is your filter basket, okay? You have baskets that are pressurized and baskets that are not pressurized, like this one. This is a double shot basket. You know, just even this wording so people know what it is that we're talking about. So yeah, I know there's a few new people on the channel that are new to coffee. That's what I mean, they're new to coffee. That's the GoPro turning off. Something else I forgot to do. But at least it turns off on its own. All right, so let's go ahead. We have exactly 18 grams. So something we do here is check retention. So retention is basically what you're grinding in, how much of that is coming back out. So ideally, you want the same thing you put in is the same exact thing you get out. Yes, there's always gonna be a little bit of exchange. What's exchange? Well, you know, I'm grinding this coffee right now, right? But some of what's gonna come out back onto the cup is whatever I ground previously. So it won't be much, but it might be 0.1, 0.2, even 0.3 of a gram, maybe as high as half a gram maybe from previously. But when you're talking about 18 grams of this and only like a half a gram of whatever else it was, you won't be able to taste the difference. So some people like to purge the grinder, meaning that I'll take some of these beans, put them in there, get a couple grams out, and then that way I know that what I have in there is the same stuff. That makes a lot of sense, but it's wasteful. And one thing I don't do on this channel is waste anything. I try to make everything work, okay? I just don't like wasting stuff. I don't think it's fair. There's too many people out there in the world struggling. They don't have access to like good coffee and certain things that I'm privileged enough to have access to, and I just don't like wasting. I can't do it. I'll throw something away if I have to, but I try to avoid it. So I'm not gonna do that. It's just very wasteful. Well, this video is gonna turn out to be a monstrosity. We're talking about like well over an hour. I know I have a lot of clips here. And when I go edit this, man, I'm gonna be having some fun. All right, but you know what? I've had a lot of fun with this video. A lot of the things that have happened kind of worked on my favor because it's kept me like on my toes and having fun. So, all right, we're right at 18 grams. Let's see what we get out. Okay, again, we're at 20. You know what? I'm gonna go down to 19. I hope it doesn't choke. Choke means that, you know, you turn this thing on and nothing comes out, just nothing. Or very extremely slow. You choked it, the machine there's not enough pressure to push through that fine puck of finely ground coffee. It's just not enough pressure to push out. Now, what builds the pressure on the machine to begin with is the fineness of the coffee. If you put very coarse coffee in there, it won't even go to 9 bars. You might get
I don't know, 4 bars of pressure or no pressure, you know, it's just pouring out like nothing's happening. Because you build the pressure with the coffee, and you know, the grind size is what controls that. Okay, so you know, there's been a lot of information for some newer folks out there. Again, if you want me to elaborate on any of this stuff further, just let me know. But I changed it to 19, so now we're at 19. Let's see how much we get out. But right there, you can see how light this coffee is. Again, the niche to me is the most beautiful coffee grinder. You know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It's not gonna be the same for everyone. So I always turn it on one more time because sometimes there's a bean that hasn't gone through. But I absolutely love the Niche Zero. This is the Niche Zero. Now there's 2 niche grinders. They have the Duo, which I do plan on getting a Niche Duo eventually. I'm gonna sit it side by side here. The Niche Duo is a flat burr grinder and bigger burrs. And you know, people swear by the flat burrs. They love it. I wouldn't know, but I will know soon. Hopefully by the end of the year, I'm gonna get the Niche Duo, and it'll be sitting here next to this one. So, people say to tap it like this. When you tap it, sometimes there's a little bit of grounds in the little spout there, and you can get that out. So let's see. All right, you see it going between 17.9 and 18, right? You see that? So basically the same thing we put in is what we got out. Now, what I like doing is if it's 0.1, 0.2 of a gram difference, I don't worry about that. If we go to like 0.3 of a gram or higher, then, and you know, on the niche, that's gonna be kind of rare, but it does happen. And then you wanna use one of these little tools here. Okay, I can tell you guys about this. If you know, comment below, I'll let you know. But basically, the same way somebody let me know, because I didn't know. But you use this like a little plunger, you know, like a little bellows on the top, and it gets the rest of your grinds out. It works very well. And if you do it in a controlled fashion, which I was not doing in the beginning, you know, you avoid having like grounds like going all over, because if you do it very, you know, hard, then it just goes everywhere. All right, but we got the same thing out. All right, let me put the foam back down. We'll keep going here. All right, get this scale out of the way. Man, I still have a little bit left. Sad to see you go, buddy. By now it's room temperature. But you know what? One of the things about good coffee is that a good coffee, okay, something like this, is gonna taste good, even if it's at room temperature. Even if you make iced coffee, even if you drink it really hot, no matter what you do, it always tastes good. With bad coffee, man, usually it'll only taste good if it's really hot, because you can't really taste all the badness. That's really what happens. You know, there's some flavors that don't come through when something is really hot in your mouth, you know? So that's how you can avoid like bad coffee from tasting like so bad, because it's just so hot you can't taste it well. But this is at room temperature now. I can taste all the flavors in here. The juiciness is still there. The plum is still there. The, you know, acidity was higher when it was hot, okay? The sweetness is about the same, but the acidity, the level of acidity has come down as it has cooled. Sometimes that works the other way around as well. You know, you get more acidity once it cools. Wow, but this was great. All right, that's the last of it. Sad to see you go, buddy. Let me put that off to the side. I'll get to it in a minute. All right, so the first thing I like to do with my pug prep is I have this, this is called a WDT tool, Weiss distribution technique. It's the gentleman that came up with doing this. And it's just, you use one of these things with the needles to declump and kind of distribute the coffee grounds. So you're supposed to do it in the portafilter. I'm gonna do it again in the portafilter in a second. But something that I've been doing, and it has been working very well, because we haven't seen a lot of channeling. Again, I don't want to explain a whole bunch more like new stuff in this video, because this is just going to turn into like a really ridiculous thing. But yeah, I've been able to avoid channeling by doing, you know, at least it's my belief, you know, what I think, right? That this has helped. Doing some distribution or declumping in here kind of helps to get the grounds fluffy. So now when I put them into my portafilter, they're already fluffed up. So, and then we're gonna do some more anyway, you'll see in a second. But now you just go like this. This is a 58 millimeter dosing cup, and the Lelit Bianca has a 58 millimeter portafilter. So it fits right in. You tap it a couple times like this to get the grounds to go down. And there we go. Ideally, you would want a tamping station so that I could just put this down and it's flat like this. I'm still looking for the perfect one, and I think I'm gonna always be looking for the perfect one. So, I don't know. I want Pasado to make me one. One day they'll run into one of my videos. But this is the Pasado distribution tool. It has very thin needles. I've talked a bunch about that already on the channel, so you can look at previous videos if you wanna get into all of that. Why is there thin needles? Why is there thicker needles? All that good stuff. So we're just gonna distribute really well in here. Make sure that the density of grounds is the same everywhere in the portafilter. That's the main thing now, because it's already, first of all, the niche doesn't give you any clumps. It's already like nice and fluffy when it comes out of the niche. So just taking the extra steps, it's part of the hobby. It's part of the enjoyment and the process of making coffee. And it's just something that we do. Is it like 100% necessary? Well, no. I mean, the worst that could happen is you get a bit of channeling and you see some squirts of coffee coming out or something. In a high-paced environment, maybe in a coffee shop or something where they're serving so many people and you gotta go fast, they'll just go right into that and that's it, But at home, you got time to do it. You end up with something like this. This is so nice and fluffy in there. Let me see if I can see that. Again, I'm using my phone for this and I can't see the screen unless I come around the back like this. But yeah, I could see it there. So you could see a nice pot prep. This is called a dosing funnel or dosing ring. And it goes right over your portafilter. It just gives you extra room. So when you start moving things around, or depending what kind of cup you have to, how it is that you're dosing into your portafilter, you might be straight dosing with your grinder, and then this definitely helps so that things don't overflow and you make a mess, But that's all that does. Let's go ahead and tamp. I'm gonna use the Lelit tamper. This came with my machine. Tamping pressure is not that important. Just try to always keep it the same. Whatever you decide to go with. Let me give you a different angle here. Hold on. Let me bring you a little closer. Okay, right there. Maybe I'll remember to do this every time to tamp. But, okay, so tamping pressure, just keep it the same. Try to remember how hard you pressed and then just always do it like that. So that the variable of your tamping pressure, it's out of the picture. So you can control everything else with your grind size and everything else. So you can get a tamper that controls the pressure for you. Eventually, I'll probably end up getting one, but I want to learn like regular tamping. I want to get good at it. So that's the reason why I haven't gone to anything like that to help me, because I don't want the help. I want to learn. Eventually, you could get a tamper that controls that for you and keeps it flat for you. Okay, so a spring-loaded tamper, like Normcore makes a really nice one. Check it out. It's like I think it's like $100 or something, and that's it. You just tamp down. The pressure is controlled, and it's always nice and flat. Here, after I tamp, I always check to make sure it's flat. But with this tamper, I always end up doing a good job. So it's perfect. This tamper just works very well for me. All right, so we have a nice puck prep right there. That's the end product. Now we use the puck screen. This just kind of like helps to keep the machine clean so that the grounds don't come up into your shower screen in the group head. And also it helps so that the puck never sticks to the group head and starts to dirty things up, it's just to keep things clean. So now let me go ahead, set up all the angles and all the stuff, and then we'll pull a shot. Oh, by the way, I haven't showed you, or I haven't talked about it. Sometimes if I ever forget to mention it, and I'll do a voiceover or something and still try to include it. But I haven't showed you guys last week's shot. So one thing that we do on this channel is that we look at the previous shot that we pulled, so I can show it in full screen, just the bottom of the portafilter, so you guys could see the extraction and we could look for channeling. I think it's kind of fun. It adds value to the video. So let me include that here. I'm gonna show you guys last week's shot. Remember that when I show you the previous shot, the audio is always what I was saying last week. So this last week's shot, I was not able to see any channeling whatsoever. I think we did again a nice job. We'll see what happens today. But next week, I'll show you this one in full screen. You'll get to see it now, but you will see it in full screen like this, the next video after this one. So let's go ahead and show you last week's shot. And then I'll come back and I'll have everything set up and we'll pull this week's shot. I think everything's ready. So we're gonna start at 5 o'clock as we usually do. And here we go. Let's see what we get from this Costa Rican from Good Brothers. I'm just gonna try to ramp it up nice and slow, but I'm not gonna do any kind of pre-infusion. This coffee looks like it's dark enough to. Oh, we're 2 cores. We're looking for 45 grams out. Okay, went a little bit over, 47 grams. 20 seconds since first drip, 32 seconds total brew time. So it did ramp up nice and slow. We did get somewhat of a pre-infusion. Okay, I think I got all the angles going. Everything's recording. Make sure I don't miss a clip. I think I haven't messed this part up so far. Give me enough time. All right, so we have everything locked and loaded. The paddles at 5 o'clock, that's where we always start. When it starts to build pressure, I start to close it, kind of level it off between 2 and 3 bar, and that's where we leave it during the pre-infusion time. If a lot of coffee starts coming out, I kind of call it after like 2 grams in the cup, I just call it and I start ramping up. But if I can get it to drip either very little or no dripping, I'll wait 30 seconds and then open it up, nice and slow, go to 9 bars and do my extraction for hopefully another 40 seconds or something like that. So this is the Akaya lunar scale. Again, this is like in the coffee industry, at least for home, this is like the top of the top. And I see why, because it definitely, I also have the time more. You guys could look here on the channel and I have plenty of videos talking about it, but definitely the time more is not up to the level of the Akaya. Okay, so that tears by itself. I have it set for that automatic espresso mode. You can kind of adjust your cup, make sure you're right under your portafilter. That should be fine. And then we start our shot. It's gonna time it for you. So again, we're looking for like 40 seconds from first drip or 45 seconds from first drip. And the yield should be somewhere around, okay, so wow, we're coarse. Holy cow, we're way coarse. This is not gonna work. Unbelievable. I'm not even gonna keep pulling that shot. This is not gonna work. And you know what? At this point, I'm gonna pick this up another day. I just can't, I don't have, I have too many things planned for today to keep recording. So you guys saw this much. This had never happened so far. But man, you know what? We're gonna have to pick this up another day. I wonder if I have to split this video up. I have a feeling this is so long that this might get split up into 2 videos. It's gonna have to, because it's gonna end up being like 2 hours long. Well, I'm not even gonna taste it. Well, I'm gonna taste it. I'm gonna taste it. It's gonna be horrible. There's no coffee in here. I just stopped it. That was coming out way too fast. That means I have to grind way finer. So I was at 19. I might go all the way down to 15. I've never seen anything like this as far as, wow, no, I haven't. All right, let's taste it, but I know it's gonna be horrible. It doesn't even have the right yield. I'm just, why not? Why not? I know if I was watching Hoon and he just made this disaster, I want him to at least taste it and let me know. So here we go. Wow, a lot of, intense flavor, very intense. Of course, because there's very little in the cup. High acidity, but it's not horrible. It's not horrible. It's not good, but it's not, it's not horrible. I've done worse than this. Wow, now I'm expecting big things from this espresso as well. All right, we're gonna have to pick this up another time. This is gonna be, wow, this is gonna be weird. Once I start editing this, I'll split this video up somehow and you guys will see the espresso portion of it as a separate video. So I don't know how I'm gonna make this work and what clips go where. And obviously I'll have to film some kind of ending to the pour over part of it because again, I'll figure it out. But anyway, I had a lot of fun today for sure. The pour over was wonderful. And I can't believe wow, and I went to 19. I was doubting whether I should even go down from 20 because ever since I cleaned the niche, I haven't been anything like below, I don't think below 18 but this one's good. Wow, this one's way fast. I'm gonna have to go down to I would say at least 15 and try it at 15 and see what happens. So we'll pick this up and this will end up be turned into 2 videos. You'll see the pour over, you'll see the espresso portion of it. And yeah, I'll make this work somehow. Anyway, thank you for spending the time with me, guys. I really appreciate you a whole bunch. I don't know if this little clip is gonna end up making it to the end of one of the videos, because obviously if it does, it'll be the end of one of the videos. But thank you for watching. Please give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I had a lot of fun here hanging out with you guys today, covering some of this stuff for some of the newbies out there. And thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next week. Every Sunday at 7 a.m. you can expect a video from me, and we keep in this this whole journey of coffee making and the whole coffee hobby. So if you're new to it, welcome. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We appreciate you guys a whole bunch. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week. All right, here we go. Let's try to get this second shot correctly. So I think we said we were gonna go at 15. I hope I got that right. So let's get ready to dose our 18 grams. Man, I couldn't believe how fast that shot brewed. I was blown away because ever since I cleaned the niche, I don't think I've ever been below 18. And that thing, it was only at 20 and it was like crazy. All right, so let's dose out our 18 grams. Again, I hope I'm not forgetting the settings and well, I should have looked back at the video I recorded last time. All right, we'll see. We'll hope for the best. If not, I got time today. We'll do another shot. All right, we're at 18 grams. We still got plenty of coffee too. So yeah, how much do you get in these bags? Let's take a look. Does it say on here? All right, I don't see it here on the bag, how much coffee you get when you buy one of these. Maybe it's not even always the same. Some roasters, depending on what they're doing, is going to range, But obviously when I bought it, it said on there how much it is that you're buying. But on the bag, I don't see it. I don't see it anywhere on here. But I mean, it doesn't matter. But all right, let's keep going. Let's keep going here. Okay, 18, I'm at 18.1, guys. We'll check retention for you. We're set at 15 on the niche. So let's see what we get from it today. Now I can be all the way over here and top, and you guys hear me the same, whether I'm over the phone or all the way over here. And I think that's pretty awesome. All right, let's go. Give you guys a little look of the setup. Okay, start it one more time. I think everything went through. Give it a little love tap. My buddy Angel says I always got to do that. Let's see. All right, 18. So I think we were at 18.1. We might have lost a 0.1. You guys know how I do it. 0.1, 0.2, doesn't matter. So let's move on. Okay, here we go with the next step. Let's put the scale off to the side. First, we start with a little WDT with the long needles, just to kind of fluff everything up in here. I've been doing this and it's been working. You know what, as a matter of fact, well, you guys haven't seen that yet. but I watched back the shot, that really fast shot. I didn't see any channeling. I have to put it in the software that I can go frame by frame, because there is an instant that you do kind of see something jump out, but I don't think it was coming from the bottom of the basket. I think it kind of jumped from the cup. So sometimes it's hard to tell if you got because it's not really like a squirt of channeling. We haven't gotten that since that first time that we had channeling. Ever since I've been doing this process, we haven't had any more channeling. There could have been some instances where there were little specks that flew out, but not like a whole squirt of coffee, just a couple little like drops that flew out. And we could have had that could have happened on the last shot. And again, we built no pressure. This thing was just gushing out. So if you don't get channeling, when that happens, then wow, your puck prep is pretty on point, because that's when it's from what I've seen, that's when it's most likely to happen. So you guys let me know. You guys have a lot more experience than me, I'm sure. So let me know if, what do you think? When you have a fine grind and things go slow, is that more likely to channel than when you're coarse and things is just gushing out? In my experience so far, when the coffee's been coarse and it's brewed really fast, that's when the channeling has occurred. So, all right, let's do the rest of this puck prep. Again, tamping station. Yeah, I know, guys. Come on, Pasado. I'm gonna keep saying that. All right, if you've been watching all the videos, you know what that's all about. Oh man, again, I'm like super far from the camera when I do that. All right, I mean, you didn't miss anything, but I gotta remember to kind of be around this area. Since I can't see the screen, I keep filming with my phone from this angle, because it's just working out awesome. So I'm really happy with that. All right, this is the dosing funnel. And again, we use the Pasado with the thin needles. And that has been my process now. I use the other one, has longer needles, and I can go all the way to the bottom of the catch cup on the niche. And I use it to fluff up in the cup, and then once I put the coffee in here, it's already nice and fluffy. So this is more about distributing the density of coffee, making sure the density of coffee is the same everywhere, than actual like declumping, because there's no clumps. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, that's pretty good. Now, I'm gonna tamp this one with a Pasado tamper. Why not? You guys get to see the best of both worlds. And I think on the last shot, again, I recorded it a few days ago, so I don't remember all the details, like the grind size. I think I wanted to go at 20, then I went down to 19. I think that's what happened. And then I decided I would grind at 15 the next time. And that's all from on the top of my head. I think that's what it was. I hope that's correct. But today we're also gonna be on the time one, because I think last time we used the Akaya. Again, that always works flawless, and I never had a glitch. This one, every now and then you run into some little issue, but I really highly recommend this scale. This is the Time More Black Mirror Nano, and it's beautiful, it's water resistant, it's rechargeable, the battery lasts forever. It has the automatic espresso mode, which I love. The Akaya has all of that, and also and more. It has all of that and more. It has connectivity, although I never use it. It has a bunch of features that most people are probably never gonna use. But the main thing about the Akaya is that it's bulletproof. It works every single time. It's always on point. This one, again, every now and then you run into some kind of little issue. Oh, sorry about that. All right, let's do the tamping. Well, just to go over the tampers, if you guys notice on the Pasado has this angle here, and that's what I don't like. The Lelit tamper is kind of straight, and when I tamp down, it helps me to feel the difference between this rim here and the portafilter basket. And then you could tell that it kind of goes down level. This one just fits in my hand better too. It's just all around for me, this one's better. But I want to practice, I want to learn. And this one's beautiful, I want to use it every now and then. It's just, wow, it's a lovely tamper, I love this. All right, here we go. And yes, I know, Carrie, I know you told me they have a thing. I saw it. the thing that kind of makes it level so that it's always level. But then that's kind of like cheating for that. You know, eventually I'm gonna get one of those self-leveling spring-loaded tampers, so you don't have to worry about the pressure or the leveling or any of that. But you know, again, the kind of manual aspect of espresso making, I want to get good at it and I want to practice. And it's kind of fun. I enjoy it. Like the gentleman today was telling me about, why don't you just program this so it's very consistent and it's always the same? Well, because it's not as fun and I'm doing this for fun. These videos have to work around me having fun making espresso, not the other way around. But eventually maybe I'll learn how to program those features and we'll try it. Give me some time and we'll get around to it. All right. But right now, man, I got so much coffee to review and I have brewers. I told you guys I have a couple of new brewers. You know, I have to do all of that. I want to show them to you guys. Okay, so, wow, that is way in there. I don't think I've ever seen, I'm not, I hope you guys could see that. Let me see. Yeah, you guys could see that there. But that is way in there. I don't think I've seen a coffee that after I tamp it, it goes down this low. This is very fine. Again, this basket, I can't remember, but this is the bigger of the two baskets, unpressurized baskets that you get with the Lelit Bianca. I think this is the bigger one. The reason why I went with the bigger one, although I always use an 18-gram dose, is because the pot screen, it kind of, you know, takes up some thickness too, and I don't want it to, when I lock it in, to scratch the shower screen of the group head. So that's the reason I went with this like deeper basket, but usually it doesn't end up this low. We'll see how, if that works in our favor. As long as I get a good shot, I'll be happy. So let's lock it in. Okay, let me set up all the angles and all the stuff and then we'll pull the shot. All right, so here we go. I think I got everything recording. Let me double check. This part I always double check because there's 3 cameras running right now, so I don't want to mess up. Okay, so everything's running. We should be ready. Paddles at 5 o'clock, that's where we always start. Let's get the timer up here. All right, we get the espresso mode, we get the A flashing, and once the A is flashing, you're ready to start. Just put your cup up here, it should tare automatically. Like that. Again, this one beeps as well. I just turned it off because the timer, the beep was even louder than the Akaya and it was more annoying. So I took it off. So we're at 95 as water temperature. My hope here is to do a pre-infusion of about 30 seconds and a shot of about maybe 35, 40 seconds at 9 bar. And let's see if we can accomplish that. All right, here we go. So when when the machine starts to build pressure, we'll close the paddle and kind of level off between 2 and 3 bar. Okay, here it goes. Okay, we're in between 2 and 3 bars, but we're getting quite a few drips. So I'm gonna ramp it up now because we're almost at 3 grams already. So we got about a good 20 seconds out of it. Let's see if we can go to 9 bars. I can't believe it's still coarse. That is unbelievable to me. But we did get it to 9 bars, nice and slow. We're looking for 45 grams as far as the yield. We're almost there. All right, we're at 45.7. Look, the timer worked flawless. Okay, 45.7 in 28 seconds. 45 seconds, this one's the total brew time, including the pre-infusion. And the other one, I think it was 20, now it stopped flashing. I think it was 28 seconds. That's from first drip. So, you know, all in all, for most people, this is already kind of like a long shot. For me, this is towards the bottom end of what I like as far as for when I do a light roast. Again, guys, it's totally different if you're doing a medium roast or if you're doing a dark roast, then it's totally different, okay? This is only for light roast coffees, so, or at least like medium to lights, okay? All right, let me get my scale out of here and then I'm gonna taste it. See if it's good. We'll take it to the other counter and talk some more about it. This is the shot glass is from Crew. Crew makes a Propel. I think they call it the Propel glass. That's what this one is. I can stop one of the cameras. It's not doing anything now, so stop this one. All right, let's try this coffee. Oh, by the way, I don't see any kind of squirting or splashing or anything. I think we didn't get any channeling, but when I look back at the video, you know, that's what. Next week I'll show you both shots in full screen. You'll get to see, you know, what happened here. All right, let's taste it. Wow, the aroma, this is crazy, this coffee. You guys, you guys have to try it. Wow, it's so fruity. Like now as espresso, I wouldn't call it exactly plum, just some kind of fruit. Yeah, just smells great. Yeah, this is wonderful. You know, let's go to the other counter. We'll catch up over there and we'll chit chat some more.
All right, cheers. I hope you guys are having something tasty here to accompany me on this journey. Let's give it another swirl. Now that it's cooling, wow, there's so much flavor in this. Man, there is a lot here. There's a lot of flavor. As espresso, this is like way too much. For somebody that's just starting in this, this is way too much. You would be better suited with something like not so picky, you know. But for us that we've tried all kinds of stuff and we're always looking for that one that gives you a little extra, this will do it. It's got the sweetness, it has acidity, a lot of depth of flavor. You know, a lot like the other one, a lot like that Costa Rican from Good Brothers. Again, to mix with milk, this is not something I would mix with milk. It's just way too much brightness. There's just way too much going on. You know, when I'm gonna make a milk drink, I like something just darker, something that's gonna give me like the dark chocolate, caramel, kind of burnt sugar flavors, and that's it. I don't want a lot of acidity. I don't want any acidity. If you have a little bit of acidity, all right, like the Lavazza Rosa. That one had a touch, and when I made it on the mocha pot, that little extra touch was great if I was gonna just drink, you know, just coffee. If I was gonna mix it with milk, it was still okay. But any more than that, and it's not something that I enjoy when I mix with milk. To have it straight, yeah, this is, it's awesome. This is where it's at. You know, as a straight shot. Again, September, well done. We're off to a good start. I got 2 more coffees to try. I'm gonna vacuum seal now, 100 grams of this. I think what I'm gonna do is just put the little card in with it. Well, not inside the coffee, but I'll like maybe tape the card to the little sealed bag or something, or so that I know what it is, okay? And then, you know, if nothing else, there's no other challengers come up throughout the rest of this year, then it'll be these 2. In January, we'll try these 2 coffees and go head to head and see what happens. Wow, this was awesome. I have to say though, let me get it, give me a second. Okay, when it comes to just espresso, just to drink a straight espresso, this coffee here from Good Brothers, this was the Congo Kivu or something like that. What did I do? Now what did I do with my glasses? All right, I found them. Okay, this is the Good Brothers Congo Kivu. Okay, so this one was red currant, dark chocolate, brown sugar. Just to drink straight espresso, this one I liked better. This is one of my favorite espressos I've ever tried. Just for straight shots, not necessarily for milk-based drinks, but just to have the straight shots. That was awesome. And this one thing about this one, and the same like the Ritual and the Side Glass and a lot of the other good coffees that we've been trying, that you know, this one was very well suited for both methods, to make espresso, to make pour overs. This one, I gotta say, and the same with the Good Brothers, the Costa Rican. For filtered, is absolutely, for me, is absolutely what I want. Okay, it's you can't beat it. It's so good. It's just awesome. For espresso, this is a bit much, even for me. There's some of you guys out there that it'll blow you away. For me, it's a bit much. For me, this is perfect for espresso. And for milk-based, even darker than this one, even darker. This here, and again, you know, it's like asking me, you know, do you like pizza? Yeah, it's one of my favorite things ever, but do I want it every single day? No. So that's the thing. I love this, but do I want that every single day? No. Sometimes you want this. Sometimes you want something that's gonna give you more. And for milk-based, I want something that's gonna give me less. I want something that's just very smooth. It doesn't have any acidity and just mixes well with milk and adds just coffee flavor. And to me, that's awesome. So it just depends. It depends on the day. It depends on what I want in that moment. It depends what I'm gonna do with it and how I'm gonna brew it. For filtered, what I drink every single morning, you can't beat this. This is just spectacular. So is that other one. I love the highs and lows. But that doesn't mean every single day that's exactly what I want. Sometimes I want something just smoother, just more gentle flavors, more tea-like. Or sometimes I want just something sweeter, just coffee flavor, not so much going on, you know? It depends on the day. But on most days, most of the time, this is mind-blowing, this is perfect. So yeah, we're gonna revisit this in January. We'll bring them out, go head to head. For now, sad to see you go, buddy. The last of it. Maybe I got 2 sips left, we'll see. One more little bit. I gotta say, acidity level, you know, if I would have brewed it a little bit longer, that's what my intention was, to go maybe like another few seconds, you know. Maybe I would have traded a little bit of the acidity and the brightness for a little bit more sweetness. Maybe I would have gotten it better to what I like, you know. So, but anyway, this has been a fun experiment. It's been a great experience. Thank you, Carrie, for the recommendation. Although I already had them on my wish list. I also want to order something from James Hoffman's project. What's it? Square Mile, I think it's called. And there's a couple other roasters that I've just never gotten around to ordering from, that I plan to and check them out and try them out here with you guys. You guys know that I always open the bags here on the videos, and then usually I'll judge things based on just like the roast level and what I see, and then I determine how it is I'm gonna brew that coffee. So obviously, if you have a chance to read the bag, but I don't do that because, again, I don't want to spoil things, because I like guessing at the tasting notes. So, all right. Anyway, enough chit-chatting. It was awesome spending time here with you guys. You guys know I appreciate you a whole bunch. Please comment something below. That's what makes it worth it to me, making these videos, is the engagement below in the comments. I love that. I learn from you guys a whole bunch. Please give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you guys next week.